I have here my fabric which was in a fold. I have opened it up now, and the length is actually 2 yards of fabric, and then I have extra 2 inches added to the two. Yeah, so the length of the fabric that I'm going to be using to cut my flare is 2 yards and 2 inches. So that's what I just indicated. So I'll go ahead now to fold in two. Okay, so my table wasn't really showing fully well on the camera, and I had to spread my fabric on the floor. You can see it is now in a fold of two. Okay, so first I'll be showing you the old method of cutting our flare. If we use this method, the length of the flare or the circle will not be long enough, and we'll have to join fabric. So we are not going to be using that method. So just look at the simple way I am folding my fabric now. The purpose of this is so as to have a complete round flare of 360 degrees, okay, without having to join fabric together at the bottom area or wherever. So after folding it now in this shape, I am taking a measurement of 10 inches for my radius. You can see the length there. I am taking a straight radius measurement, and the length there is 10 inches. So it is 8 inches, which is my waist measurement, divided by 2 to give me 8. And then I added 2 inches allowance to it. Okay, so that is for our radius measurement, which I just took there. So the next measurement I'm going to be taking will be the length of the skirt, or the length of our flare. So from the radius to the border area of the flare is 24 inches, which is what I just indicated with my finger. So I'll go ahead now to make a point there. This I'm going to be doing all around. So I'll be taking a measurement of 24 inches from the radius, and I'll make a point till I get to the other end. Okay, so after making all the points, I'm simply connecting them together with my chalk right now. You could use your curve rule, to curve it, and that's the drafting of our flare. So I went ahead now to cut it out. Okay, and this is what it is looking like. So I'm simply opening it on the side now, because it's going to have a side pocket, and then I have two pieces of fabric, the front and the back of our flare. You can see it is now in two pieces. So this is what it is looking like. It's actually looking exactly like a 360 degrees flare. Okay, so you would say that the waist is looking wide. We're going to be making adjustments for the zipper allowance and also for the seam allowance. Okay, so this is our flare looking very beautiful. So what I'm simply doing right now is separating the two pieces of fabric and then folding them separately. So after folding, I'll go ahead now to place them on top of each other, the one for the back and the one for the front. So I'm going to be cutting the one for the back at the middle area. So instead of it being a one piece of fabric, it's going to be two pieces of fabric, because we would need the opening for the zip at the back. So this is me cutting through the middle of the back fabric. And then for the front fabric, I'm going to be cutting off 1 inch of allowance from it, which is going to make it, different from the back fabric, which has zipper allowance. So I made a point at the border area there of 1 inch allowance, and I also made a point at the top, and I used my straight rule to connect both points together. So what I'm simply doing right now is folding the fabric for the back of our skirt, and then I went ahead to trim that 1 inch allowance off, and this is what we have. So that allowance there is on the fabric for the back of our skirt. So we'll be setting this aside now to work on the pocket fabric. So I have here 4 pieces of fabric which we're going to be using to cut our pockets, and the length is 10 inches, 8 inches wide and 10 inches of length. So from the top, I also took a length of 7 inches, made a point there before I started drafting my curve. And so this is what our pocket fabric is looking like. So go ahead now to attach our pocket fabric on the 4 sides of our skirts or our flare. Okay, so I would be opening the fabric for the front first, and I'm going to be placing 2 pieces of pocket fabric, one each on the side. So ensure to place the fabric the right sides facing each other. So the pocket fabric should be facing um, the right side, facing the right side of the skirt. Okay, so you can see that is the front of the skirt that is facing the camera, but the front of the pocket fabric is facing the skirt, so you are seeing the back of the pocket fabric. So I did the same for the back fabric as well, and after that you can see me placing the skirt fabric for the back on top of the skirt fabric for the front. So I'm ensuring that the pockets are lapping on top of each other rightly, and the area where I'm indicating with my finger now is where I'm going to be running my stitches all the way to the border of our skirt. So after I was done stitching, our skirt is now opened at the back portion. So I'm going to be closing that back now and leaving the zipper area which I just indicated. So I'll be stitching it by 1 inch as I indicated with my finger. So this is our skirt fabric after I was done closing it at the back. Okay, so I have this piece of fabric here. The actual length is 5 yards. I actually cut out piece of fabrics and I joined them, and the full length is 5 yards. Okay, so the width is about 7 inches before I folded on one side of the border. So this fabric is what I'm going to be using to make pleats around the border area of our flare or our circle skirt. So this is me placing the fabric on the border area now, and I'm making simple pleats. You could make yours kissy pleats. I have a skirt video where I made kissy pleats, and so for these I am making simple pleats. So these I'm going to do all around the border of the skirt, and this is what our skirt is looking like after I was done. I love this fabric so much because it is so colorful. Okay, it's something that I could wear with a red top, a pink top, a yellow top. It's just colorful and that makes it beautiful. And this is me trying out the pocket area, okay, because it actually has 2 pockets on the side. And then for our zipper area, I've also ironed it out and you can see it's looking neat. Okay, so this piece of fabric with me now is what I'm going to be using for the waistband. The length is 5 inches and in a fold it is 2.5 inches. So after stitching, the band will now be 2 inches because we will be using half an inch for our stitching allowance. So I'm simply placing it all around the waist area of our skirt. Okay, so I'll go ahead now to run my stitches by 0.5 inches as I'm indicating with my finger. And after was done, this is the waist now with the band looking very neat, not squeezed, not folded in a funny way. And this is our skirts looking very beautiful. So guys, the last and final thing which we're going to be doing on this skirt is attaching our short zipper at the back. If at this point you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and I'll be seeing you on the next one. Thank you so much, guys, for stopping by. As always, it's your girl, Uwa Apparel.